Well, welcome back for part two of this interview. This is Rich Kaufman with Jeff Day, and we're glad that you're back to see the second part of this interview. Now, Jeff, I know your office is located in St. Louis, and it's been interesting to follow the progress of your firm over a period of time. And one of the things when people ask me, I say, well, we went through some horrendous times in the building business, starting at about 2007 and 2008, something like that, and then things began to go downhill. And I saw architectural firms reducing staff, and sometimes the principal moving back into their home because the staff was gone. All that time I'm following your firm, and it was going the opposite direction. It was growing. And I mean, that in itself says volumes. But talk a little bit about the growth of Jeff Day Architecture Firm. I think it's Jeff Day and Associates if the people go on the website to look you up, right?
Correct.
But talk about that a little bit, because I think it's an interesting concept, because you have just about everything you need in one firm to do any kind of a project with any kind of a style and in a lot of different locations. But
yeah, I guess you and I go back about 8 years when I started the company, and when I started it was just me, and my first year out I actually had 97 projects on the books.
Wow.
I think that's why I'm bald now, but
well, if it wasn't bald, it'd be gray, so don't worry about
right,
it.
That's right. I'd rather it not be gray. So
thank you.
So yeah, we steadily grew, and just really hard to explain the blessing. I just saw it grow. Looking back, I think obviously God's hand was in it, but you look at the diversity of the projects we do and the way we build relationships with people, it's panned out well. We take on small commercial projects. We've done high schools. We've done mostly houses. We do a lot of addition renovation work. And
you work with churches too, right?
We do a lot of work with churches, that's correct. We actually worked with a team of people to do a church in Haiti.
Oh, wow.
So we do work in Haiti, Texas, New Hampshire, Illinois, Michigan. It's just been coming from all over the place, and I can't explain it other than God's hand being in it.
Well, and that I appreciate that part of it, that you give recognition to that, and I agree with that. The other thing is even with the blessing of the Lord, or however people want to phrase that, there's a diligence that has to take place. You have to show up every day. You got to do the right thing the right way, and your firm has done that. And as well as I was talking about your staff, I mean, as they come in, they bring their experiences to put together with your experiences, and then the net result of that is a lot of experience.
Absolutely. We've grown with excellent experience. We collectively as a team, we have over 100 years of experience under that roof. And as we grow, obviously, even more experience. We have a lot of guys with diverse backgrounds too. You know, we have guys that have done commercial work, a lot of big box retail stores and schools and hotels and things. We've got guys that have done small tenant build-outs. We've got guys who have done 20,000 square foot houses. We have guys that have done 2,000 square foot houses, and guys that can look at an existing building and really estimate what may or may not occur inside of a wall and things like that. You never know totally until you rip into it, but we can just based on knowledge of past experience, we can understand kind of how a building was put together in 1920, 1930, 1940, so that as we go in and start helping people redesign a floor plan or do an addition to a home, we can anticipate quite a bit of things. So yeah, it's very diverse. I couldn't find a better team, I guarantee you that. Everybody on the team works together, is willing to work together, and I think we have a good culture inside of the office.
Yeah. And for any of the people watching this, if they want to get in touch with your firm, want to meet with you, they can go to the website that you have. Give us those ways to connect.
Sure.
So that they can sit down at. I'm sure the initial interview doesn't. I mean, people sometimes I think are reticent to step out and meet with an architect when that's probably one of the first things they ought to be doing.
Sure.
And but those initial interviews is kind of like get to know. They don't cost them anything to get to know you, right?
That's right.
And then you move forward from there. And
Correct. Yeah, we do all of our first consultations free.
Yeah.
Unless we have to fly somewhere or drive for hours to get there. But in essence, first consultation is always free. We want to make sure that we're a good fit for clients. And we readily give information to the client as we talk through their project so that they can take notes on these things. And if they chose another architect and thought maybe we weren't right for them, that's okay. I want them to be able to leave with a knowledge base and really just kind of explore those ideas in regard to energy efficiencies and this product may be better than that product and building envelope types and what they may or may not cost. I want people to have that information. And so, yeah, the first consultation's free. The best way to really kind of see what we're capable of is to come to the office, but the second best way is to go to our website, and that's jeffdayllc.com.
Yeah.
And on there you'll see portfolios of work for all the different types I've told you, commercial and residential. We've done a lot of restaurants and things like this. And you can just kind of explore the work we've done, but then also there's some videos. We've been on other TV shows and things that you can watch and just see what other people may have to say about us.
And it's not only that too. I mean, I like to go to your website every so often because there's always something new happening.
Sure.
And I'll just go and you have been written up in a number of magazines your firm has and your work. And so those sometimes you can just read the article or find out, that type of thing too. And it gives people a better feeling of what you're capable of, what they might want to ask you about before they ever sit down with you. I think that's good stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. This has been special for me because one of the things that I've thought about, because we're talking constantly to our viewers about high performance building. I mean, this is what we're trying to share with people, is that there is a way to build a house to make it perform the best that it can possibly perform in terms of energy efficiency, in terms of air quality, and using products that are sustainable, that are going to make the building last a long time, which has got a real value to it. And Jeff, you referred to some of the first homes that you designed and how you said they were kind of a contemporary look. And I understand everybody's got different taste. But as we were talking about that, I thought back to the original video that the Vernings did to kind of introduce the idea of the Oasis and where their family was going to live. And they talked about how it had to meet their family's needs and how they wanted it to be efficient, they wanted it to be sustainable. But Jennifer Verning made the statement in that video, but we didn't want our house to look like a science project. But now, something that's exciting is that, you can bring the art of, just like on this particular house we've been talking about with the salt box and some history there, but there's many styles of architecture in different periods that you guys that are architects understand and know, and you can bring that to match what the client wants, but at the same time show them how to build that house to be a high performance home. I think that's an important aspect of what you guys do.
Sure, yeah. When I first started my company 8 years ago, sustainable design was the intent. And most of what you saw at that time was kind of this modern contemporary style of home, mostly just kind of boxes with flat roofs. And you know, windows just kind of sporadically placed and whatnot. And there's a place.
There
for
is.
that.
There is.
There's
Some people,
absolutely
that's
a
their
place for that.
style.
Yeah,
And if that's
we
their
do a lot
style,
of that work,
yeah,
and I love
yeah,
that work. I
yeah.
love really all the vernaculars. The challenge comes when you try to design a home that fits into a historic neighborhood. So,
Comes to my mind the active house that you
Sure.
designed in Webster Groves, I think, is the community. And one of the fascinating things about that, and it's a high performance home, but when you drive down the street, it looks like it belongs there.
right.
You know, you designed it to make it be an infill new home in an established, beautiful community, and it fits and it looks right. And so that's a credit to you guys and what you
Thanks.
do.
Yeah, Webster Groves is a community that is more than a century old, and the Active House project was brought to us by a team called Active House out of Denmark, and we worked with a local builder here as well as a local consultant to really pull that project together. It was kind of neat to collaborate with some of the best engineers in Denmark, you know. But you know, this is a house that's on a street with homes that are 100 or more years old, and there was a home that was literally falling apart. The roof was caving in, and one of my past clients, who we had designed an addition for 5 or 6 years ago, just out of coincidence called me to see if a particular house I was designing, not the Active House, but another one was one that we had designed. And I said, no, why? And he says, well, we're thinking about buying a new home. So the light went off.
Sure, sure.
Obviously that light was run by solar power,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the light went off. And we connected
I'm
for
not going to
coffee
touch
and-
on where that solar power comes from, but let's go.
So anyway, yeah, that panned out, and this is a community that has an architectural review board, which these are great because they help to maintain a stability of the architecture inside of a community, because you know, people, especially in these 100-plus-year-old communities, they take pride in owning these homes, and so we were able to design a home, like you said, just fits the streetscape. Looks
Yeah.
like something that would have been built 100 years
Yep.
ago.
Yeah.
However you walk inside. You've been in that house, so is your wife.
Yeah.
And it's bright, every room.
And that's an example of what we talked about earlier of designing it so that it looks good, it feels good, but it's using the light in it in the right ways. And I think the term that you use there is daylighting, as you know, as an opportunity to make it just right. But anyway, that's what you guys do. That's what you can do. And we would highly recommend that anybody looking and thinking about an architectural firm would, you know, contact you guys, go on your website and make that kind of a relationship or meeting come about, and then see where it goes from there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Jeff, thanks for your time, man. And I know our viewers are going to enjoy this. Thanks so much.